I think the most vexing question people have about exploitative, charismatic leaders like Deepak Chopra or any of the other clowns we study on Conspirituality Podcast is, are they conscious manipulators or are they trapped in their own beliefs? It's a great question. And the test case I'll use in this reel is Teal Swan. Now, part of this question is about calculating your humiliation, because if the guru was a totally cynical manipulator, that's really going to hurt. But if they were a true believer, it's more like neither of you understood what you were really up to, and the balance of power was against you, and that sucked, but there might be more room for forgiveness in that instance. Now, these days, I try to approach this question as a Marxist, which begins with, you're never going to know the essence of the charismatic. If it's there, it's between them and their therapist, except they don't go to therapy. But more than that, not only are you never going to know, even if you found out, it probably wouldn't help you. Because let's say you conclude they are uniquely evil. Then you have to deal with the consequences of believing in evil. If you guess that they're mentally ill, and then you'll be stuck in a discourse about the effects of mental illness. And if they are true believers, you're still stuck, because what intervention would have worked? But if you regard abusive gurus as both products of and actors in a capitalist mode of production, they become symptoms of a larger system. Their eccentricities melt back into a predictable landscape, and you might get less triggered about what assholes they are. Okay, now let me apply this to Teal Swan. Early in life, her parents recall her presenting signs of neurodivergence, which they tried to treat with traditional Chinese medicine. Her childhood friend remembers her gaining access to violent pornography on the internet. And at around 20, Swan runs into the top satanic panic therapist in Utah, Barbara Snow, and comes to be convinced that a satanic cult held her prisoner as a child and did things like sew her into a corpse in a midnight ritual. There's a lot more conditioning than choice going on there. So, low awareness of neurodivergence. A middle-class family has cash or credit for a computer and long-haul travel to China, impossible in prior decades. And then why did red-pilled Catholics catalyze the satanic panic that melted Barbara Snow and set up Swan for life? It was an extension of Catholic anti-communist Red Scare politics. So Swan runs into that in full priestess mode at the dawn of YouTube and social media, where she is audience captured and rewarded. And she worked it. So, is she a conscious manipulator, or is she trapped in her beliefs? I think it's both, flowing in a Mobius strip interlocked with ableism, anti-communism, and gamified trauma porn. You can't solve the problem of Teal Swan's intentions, but you can see the systems that made her and that she acted through clearly and then work to improve or crush them.